Hi, scholars, and happy Friday. We are doing part 2 of our Module 5 review today. Before I get started on the review, I want to just say a couple things. So, one, you're going to need paper and plain paper and a pencil and maybe an eraser if you need to help you do your work today. We're also going to go over some shout outs that I'm going to maybe start doing every Friday. And if I have more and more scholars participate, then I'll start to do it throughout the week and not just Friday. But for right now, we're going to do it on Fridays. So today's our first day going over the shout outs. So our first shout outs go to the scholars who are getting my Grow Our Team points this week. On Monday, I said in my video that if you send me your work, I circled exactly which problems you should send me. I would give you Grow Our Team points. So in Ashford, I had scholar number 14 send me their work one day, so they got one Grow Our Team point. So round of applause for you, scholar 14. And also scholar number 27 sent me their work every day this week and even sent me their review work from yesterday showing me they followed along and they had it all nice and neat so I could see all their answers for the review. So that scholar, like I said, got 5 Grow Our Team points, which is awesome. This is our first week doing it, so I'm really excited that I got to see some of your work, but I'm hoping next week I see even more. Zern shoutouts in Ashford go out to scholar number 7, sorry. That scholar had the most time on Zern, and in ISU, scholar number 13 had the most time on Zern. And there were a lot of you who were on Zern this week, which was great to see you guys doing that extra work. So keep it up, and I hope we see new scholars up there next week. And then my last shout out is my iReady shout out. So scholar number 24 was on iReady for an hour this week, which is awesome. Scholar number 24, and in ISU was also scholar number 13. So way to go, both of you, getting that extra work in. It's great to see. So today for our review, we're focusing on clocks. It will be a little tricky. You're going to have to draw a little bit more clocks. It might take a little bit longer, but we have the music playing in the background, and you guys will have a timer going on my end. So let's just get started. The first question says, put the hour hand on the clock so that the clock matches the time. Then write the time on the line. What I suggest you do is draw one clock, put in the minute hand, the hour hand. It already gave you the minutes. You got to figure out where the hour hand goes for that. And then write the time next to it. You need to do it for A, B, and C. It shows you for A it is 6 o'clock, and they give you an example of what 6 o'clock looks like, but you still need to put in the hour hand that's missing. For B, it's 9 o'clock, and C, 12 o'clock. So I will give you a minute and 30 seconds to get that done. Your timer has started. You have about 15 seconds left. If it's taking a little bit longer, you can pause the video and then come back when you're ready. So our timer went off and answers. So it was a little tricky showing it on a computer. I did my best, but for letter A, I drew my 6 o'clock. I drew my hour hand pointing to that 6, and they, like I said, had already put the 6 o'clock on the line for us. For letter B, I made my hour hand facing the 9 to show 9 o'clock. Our minute hands on the 12, and 9 o'clock looks like that on the line. My last one's hard to see a little bit, and my line went a little bit down below, but I am pointing that hour hand to the 12 to show 12 o'clock, and that's how you write it on the line. Our next two, the same thing just like we did. You're going to do 7 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So I'm going to give you a minute. There's only 2 of these to get done. Your timer has started. Your timer went off, so now I'm going to show you your answers. I have my hour hand facing the 7 to show 7 o'clock, and I wrote it on the line. And then I have my hour hand facing the 1 to show 1 o'clock with 1, 0, 0 on the line showing 1 o'clock. Your next one, it says to write the time shown on each clock to tell about Lee's day. So you can write the number that goes with it. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't start at 1 because I pulled this from a little homework lesson that we didn't do. So all you need to do is write the numbers 5 through 10 on your paper, and then you'll fill in your answer next to it. So the first one says, number 5, Lee wakes up at blank. You look at the time and write it on the line. Number 6, he takes the bus to school at blank. You write it on the line. Number 7, he has math at blank. Number 8, he eats lunch at blank. Number 9 says he has basketball practice at blank. And number 10 says he does his homework at blank. You need to fill in those times looking at your clock. I'm going to give you a minute and a half to get that done. It should be quick for you guys. Your timer has started. You have about 10 seconds left. There's your timer. Our answers. Number 5 was 6:30. Number 6 was 7:30. Number 7 was 10:30. Number 8 was 12:30. Number 9 was 3:30. And number 10 was 4:30. For this one, we just have 2 more that couldn't fit on that other slide. it says he eats dinner at blank, and number 12 is he goes to bed at blank. So look at your clocks and write the time. I'm just going to wait a little bit to show you the answers. So number 11 and number 12. All right, I'm going to show you your answers. Number 11 was 5:30 and number 12 was 7:30. Our next one is a match the pictures with the clocks. This would be a little tricky to write down, so we're just going to do it together. So A says soccer practice 3:30. So now I'm going to look on the right-hand side, and I'm going to see, does the first clock look like 3:30? Well, the hour hand should be closer to 3, and the minute hand should be on the 30. The minute hand is on the 30, but the hour hand is not showing me 3:30. Now I'm going to look at my next one. Does that one show 3:30? I think it does, so draw an imaginary line with your finger and show that that matches. Now I want you to do the rest by yourself, drawing an imaginary line, or if you would like, you can copy it on a piece of paper. It just might take a little bit too long. So B says brush teeth 7:30. I want you to draw an imaginary line to where you think it would go. C says wash dishes 6 o'clock. So I'm going to look on my right hand side and draw an imaginary line to where it would match 6 o'clock. D says eat dinner 5:30. And now I'm going to look on the right hand side and find the clock that shows 5:30. Letter E says take bus home 4:30. I'm going to draw my imaginary line to the clock that shows 4:30. And the last one says homework 6:30. 6:30. I have to remember what that means first. And now I'm going to draw my imaginary line to the clock. If you're not done, pause the video, but I'm going to go and move on to the answers. So, like we did the first one together, soccer practice 3:30, went to that second clock. Brush teeth 7:30. I drew my imaginary line all the way down to the bottom clock. It shows that the minute hand is on the 6, which means 30. And my hour hand, my shorter hand, is in between 7 and 8, which means it's 7:30. Now I'm at wash dishes, letter C is 6 o'clock. I draw that to almost the second to bottom clock, where the hour hand is on the 6. The minute hand is right on the 12, showing 6 o'clock. Letter D says eat dinner 5:30. I drew my imaginary line all the way to the clock at the top that has the hour hand in between 5 and 6, and the minute hand on 6, which is 30. 5:30. Take bus home is letter E. It said 4:30, so I drew it to the clock. It's the fourth clock down, where the hour hand is in between 4 and 5, and the minute hand's on the 6, which means 30, so that is 4:30. And the last one, homework 6 o'clock. I know that went with our digital clock that says 6:30, because 6:30 means 30 minutes after 6, so 6:30. On this one, you can, on your paper, write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, so that you have a line for each problem. So do that quickly. Write the letter A on one line, B under it, then C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. For this, you're going to write the time on the line under the clock, but instead you're going to write it next to the letter you wrote down on your paper. So you're going to do each one, look at the clock, and write the time on the line you have for that space. I'm going to give you about a minute to get that done. Your timer has started. Your timer is off and we're going to go right to the answers. For A, it was 1 o'clock. B was 11:30. C was 6 o'clock. D was 7:30. You could have wrote 7:30, but since it was a digital clock, I wanted to write it a little bit different. So 7:30, which would mean 7:30. E is 5:30. F is 2:30. G is 7 o'clock. H is 11 o'clock. And I is 9:30. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got all of those correct. This one, you're going to put a check next to the clocks that show 4 o'clock. So what you're going to do is write A, B, C, D, and then put a check mark next to the ones that are correct. So if A is showing 4 o'clock, next to A you put a check. If B is showing 4 o'clock, you put a check. If C is showing 4 o'clock, you put a check. If D is showing 4 o'clock, you put a check. If it is not showing 4 o'clock, you just don't put anything at all. That one should have been really quick, so we're going to write to the answers. So I couldn't do check marks on my computer. I put X's instead. A is showing 4 o'clock. You have the hour hand on the 4, the minute hand on the 12 to show 4 o'clock. And D is showing 4 o'clock on our digital clock with 4:00. So this is the end of our clock review. If you guys have any questions or anything you're a little confused about in this module at all, please reach out, ask your parents or whoever you stay with that you need to talk to me and have some questions about it. I would love to answer them. Keep up the great work, and I'll check in with all of you guys on Monday.